Welcome back to part 2 of LA Fishguys Bio Pellets episode. We're with Jeff Macare of Reef Dynamics, and he's providing us some insight into the bio pellets. So far, we've learned that bio pellets provide a food source for denitrifying bacterias. These are the bacterias that consume nitrates and phosphates, or the end result of the biological process. In part 1, Jeff showed us the use of the reactor that the bio pellets are placed into. So here's the real magical question. Now I've set up this reactor and I've placed the pellets in there, of which one question comes to mind right away. How full should this be?
That depends on the size of the system and the bio load. Basically, the reactor is designed, you could fill it up really high if you wanted to. I personally don't recommend filling it any more than halfway. I think for this reactor here is designed for aquariums up to like 135, maybe 140 gallons. You can probably go slightly larger. So the amount of pellets that you put in here, I think this is going to about 300 or 400 milliliters of pellets. We use a 6-ounce container, and that's perfect for this. And again, what really matters the most is your process rate. How quickly you're passing water through. The bacteria are going to just turn on, like I said, and they're just going to rock and roll. So, if you have a slightly bigger tank, you might want to use a little more pellets. But as the pellets dissolve, you're just going to open the lid up, put more pellets in, and
Okay. I guess I didn't clearly understand approximately how much I should put in there. Is X amount of pellets rated to take care of a certain level of nutrients, or tank size, or is there a lot of science involved in trying to figure out how much?
Yeah, it is a bit ambiguous. Effectively, you want to have enough media in the reactor so that the flow rate of the reactor, so you can suspend it calmly. The amount really doesn't matter that much. Certainly, you can have not enough, and if you had a little more than you needed, again, it's just a function of controlling the flow through the reactor. So really, it's based upon the size of the reactor. So again, this reactor here can probably easily use 6 ounces, maybe as much as 12 ounces at the most.
Okay. Now, so I've got a reactor running, I've got it hooked up to the system, I've loaded the bio pellets in there. How does the bacteria get in there?
Well, basically the bacteria are naturally occurring in the system. So in theory, you put it together, they're just going to colonize over time. That's how I did it. It took about, like I said, about 7 to 10 days for the bio pellets to become active and starting to see that nitrate and phosphate levels drop.
So the bacteria naturally occurs, and then like a regular biological filter, there's a period of time before they actually become active or capable of doing the job.
Yeah, it probably has more to do with the volume of bacteria.
Okay.
Day one, there's going to be some bacteria growing, but if there's 50 of them, they're not going to do much work.
Right.
But once you've got enough, you'll see the process happen. You can also supplement it by using Stime or Microbacter 7 or whatever other bacterial inoculation product is out there. There's lots of them, and you could put them right in the reactor if you wanted to.
Is there a method of testing to determine when it became capable, or you just allow X amount of time?
Well, yeah, no, I started testing nitrate every week.
Okay.
And then daily once I saw that the reactor was activated.
So really what I'm doing is not testing for ammonias and nitrites as I would a regular biological filter. I'm testing to see when nitrate, end result of the biological process, actually begins to come down.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, if I waited 30 days and this unit was running and I saw no reduction in nitrate...
Something's not working.
Okay. Okay.
In all likelihood, it's probably the flow rate through the reactor is too low.
Aha. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So again, flow rate is key to either stripping it too fast or not doing it fast enough.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another important point I wanted to point out to this is that it's very important to make sure that you use the bio pellets in conjunction with a good protein skimmer. And what we've done in our system is actually we have developed an appendage, so to speak, for the pump, so that all the water coming out of the reactor goes through the protein skimmer. The reason this is critical is one of the byproducts of this metabolic process of these bacteria is a biofilm. That biofilm is very rich in nutrients. And if you don't filter that out of the water, it'll make a lot of algae grow in the tank, especially in the beginning. So what we've developed at Reef Dynamics is this system works, the bio pellet reactor works in conjunction with the protein skimmer. And basically you just have a T-fitting with an adapter on top which attaches to your pipe. And so that ensures that all the water coming out of the reactor goes right into the skimmer pump, right into the protein skimmer. And you can see that's a couple days worth of skimming. I'm running a little wet right now because I was getting rid of some microalgae. But you'll see your protein skimmer really come to life with the bio pellet reactor. There's a lot of effluent comes off of it.
So the discharge coming out of the reactor should end up somewhere near the inlet of the pump for the protein skimmer.
Yeah.
Or in your case, you have this T-fitting
Yeah.
that is sucking, or not sucking, but sucking water from the sump, but it's also drawing water directly out of the reactor.
Yeah, the water from the sump comes from the bottom, and then the water from the reactor is coming in the top, and that just makes sure that it gets sucked in. So there's no way for that.
Pump's not actually helping suck water out of the reactor.
No.
It's just another input for the water into the pump itself.
Yeah, just make sure that all the water leaving the reactor goes into the skimmer.
All the water leaving the bio pellet reactor should go through the skimmer.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, it's going to introduce into the tank something that's going to encourage algae problems.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, the biofilm is really rich in nutrients.
Okay. Kind of ironic that we're using something to get rid of nutrients when, in fact, it may even, through its process, add a little bit of nutrients.
Well, yeah, and what's interesting too is, I mean, it's beneficial to have some of the biofilm in the system because the corals will actually eat that. It's very rich in nutrients, carbohydrates, because a lot of it's just the sugar that comes off the pellets. And they found that one of the reasons that the corals, the coloration of the corals comes out is not only the nutrients, the nitrates in the system low, but the biofilm does provide some food source for the corals. So you have to find the balance in the system. And again, that's the nice thing about this type of reactor is that you have the ability to tweak those parameters, whereas with standard media reactor, you have no control over it. You're just making sure that they're suspended, and whatever happens after that happens. So.
Any place that one could go looking for a little bit more in-depth information on the bio pellets and the whole process?
Well, besides our product pages, which aren't exhaustive, I mean, I've just put some basic information up there as an introduction. There's just some forums. I know Reef Tools is a fantastic forum. It's the one I go to most of the time. And they have some excellent sections in there to talk about technology and science and biology, and there will be a lot of people talking in there. There's been some good threads about bio pellets, and I would spend some time reading through that, with a grain of salt. Everyone has their anecdotal experience, which is valuable in the end. You need to assess everything that other people experience. That's valuable, but one of the things that we do at Reef Dynamics is we do that research and we find out what works, and we make products that provide that service, so that you don't have to worry about making sure you're doing it right or doing things haphazardly. It's important for us to make sure we are.
How many different sizes of this reactor are available?
This is the first one that'll be out. We'll be offering, this is, like I said, the model 135. We have a model 250, a model 500, and a model 1000, and then we do custom ones for commercial and industrial installations. And we're also going to have a nano one that hangs in the back of the nano tank.
5 standard units and then some custom units available.
Yeah.
And what time frame would one expect those bio pellets to be consumed in?
Well, once again, it depends on the amount of nitrate and phosphate in the system. So on this tank here, I'm giving it bio load, and I have a really heavy feeding schedule. I can show you. Well, I feed my tank every day.
Hi, my name's Jim Stime. I'm the LA Fish Guy. I wanted to let you know about a new site I found called Aquarium. They have everything you need for your aquarium, from equipment to live fish. It's easy to use and intuitive. Membership is free and you can buy and sell anything to do with fish in a secure environment. Finding what you want is easy. They have some great search capabilities, and the directory has businesses from all over the country. If you sell a fish and need shipping help, they offer great advice. If you would rather have a professional like me help with shipping or even weekly aquarium service, you can find us in the service listings. And speaking of service reminds me of my customer, Scott. During a recent service visit, he showed me his Flamingi tang that's outgrown the tank. He needed to move him out but didn't know how. I told him about Aquarium. He joined up and is finding him a new home. Now he's hunting on Aquaria to find a new tank. There's one now. I bet you Scott's gonna buy it. Guys, Aquaria is a great resource. Join for free and connect with people all over the country that share your passion. Find great deals from aquarium stores and locate certified service to help you out. Do yourself a favor. Check out Aquaria. Tropical Fish Hobbyist magazine has been the authoritative source for aquarium keepers since the first legendary issue rolled off the presses in 1952. With informative articles month after month about the fascinating world of freshwater aquariums, saltwater setups, paludariums, ponds, and more, illustrated in crisp detail by the world's top aquatic photographers. TFH covers it all. And now, with subscriptions starting at $13.95 and a mobile digital edition you can take with you wherever you go, TFH is your ultimate resource for all things aquatic. Does your aquarium have an algae problem? Do long green strands of algae grow all over everything? Is red not the color you wanted your rocks and gravel to be? Then you should consider the Santa Monica Algae Scrubber. This unit is designed to be placed above the aquarium or straddling the sump or wet-dry trickle filter below the aquarium. The Santa Monica Algae Scrubber uses 2 light enclosures placed on either side of a specially designed acrylic body to grow algae on a screen suspended from a spray rod inside the unit. That screen quickly and naturally grows its own algae, which in turn is scraped off on a weekly basis. If you want your fish or reef aquarium back, the Santa Monica Algae Scrubber is the solution. Visit santa-monica.cc for more information.
I'm a big fan of this product. It's called Marine Deluxe, and it's made in Germany. And every day I'll come in here and you can watch. I'll dump about that much in, which is about 3 or 4 ounces.
And this is food for the corals, not so much food for the fish.
Yeah, food for the corals. And then I use this Brightwell. I have 4 different Brightwell products. This is the Phyto Green. I hit it about like that. The Photo Chrome. And I'll hit that about like that. Microbore.
These are all different size food particles for different filter feeders and such.
Yep. And then the last one I use is the Phyto Gold. And that's what I feed every day to the tank. So that's about 6 to 7 ounces of fluid.
And that's the stuff that you've decided to feed your tank. Other people might be feeding other versions.
Yeah, I use DT's phytoplankton as well, frozen stuff.
Daniels will be happy to hear about that.
No, it's a great product. And I also use, DT's is the green liquid. What's the frozen stuff? Cyclopes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I use that to the fish.
In the little squirt bottle?
No, actually, it's, this.
Or the brick.
The brick.
Aha,
that's what I use, the brick, the frozen one. Now, so you can see the tank's really, really cloudy, but that's all food for these corals. I mean, this is one of my new favorite corals. This is the Limnalia.
Which one?
The one in the middle here. It's kind of a pinkish white color.
Green around it there?
Yeah, the little star polyps in the back. And then this whole thing here.
The soft coral?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll put my hand in it. This one here. It's got a beautiful purple color on the base. It's almost like a Dendronephthia.
Right.
It's related, but it's a photosynthetic coral, but it loves these particulate, this food. I mean, it's amazing how much it's grown. And the same thing with the xenia.
See how the corals are already beginning to close up a little bit as they capture food. And then I also noticed the protein skimmer kind of settled down quite a bit too.
Yeah. That's actually one of the really cool benefits of the bio pellets is that typically people in the past have been very concerned about overfeeding the tank because they don't want nitrate and phosphate to accumulate. With this system, feed away. I mean, literally dump food in the tank.
You can finally have a tank full of fish and enough food to keep those fish happy.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, what's interesting too is that we're so reefocentric. You know, when we think about technology, and as far as I'm concerned, this is just as valuable for someone with a 1,000-gallon shark tank that wants to feed pounds of fish a day.
So this is not just limited to a coral reef tank then.
Absolutely not.
This could be in a big fish tank.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, if you have a mixed fish tank with say angels and butterflies and triggers and tangs and all that stuff, and you want to have a big, huge selection of fish and feed the heck out of them, this is the way to go because you can feed all you want. You never have to worry about nitrates and phosphates. And the other cool thing is this works in freshwater as well.
Oh, wow.
So people who are growing fish farms, people who have planted tanks or discus or anybody who needs to have that really high purity water, African cichlids, this stuff works fantastic. And these bio pellet reactors will work for those too.
Yeah, because the past has been everybody was afraid in their reef tank to basically add fish or put food in the tank for fish for fear of raising nutrients and all of a sudden end up with an algae problem.
Exactly, and you can see I have virtually no algae growing in my tank.
Right.
And this is what I feed every single day.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
It's exciting. I think this technology is really cool. I mean, people have been fiddling around with glucose and vinegar and vodka for a long time.
Hearing about that.
And again, for the people who are really tweaky and understand the chemistry of what's going on and really have that kind of aqua blue thumb, they can play with those things and get great results. But for the average guy who just has a nice reef tank or a nice fish tank and just wants to do the best he can for them, this is the system that allows you to do that. Basically, it's a set and forget thing. You monitor it, of course, like anything else, but it's not complicated. So.
Well, very cool. And where can we find this product and more information on this product?
www.reefdynamics.com.
There we go, reefdynamics.com. And it's called Bio Pellets.
Yeah, we call them NOPO.
NOPO?
Nitrate and phosphate. So
Okay.
it's the NO and the PO.
Oh, clever.
So NOPO, and then it's no nitrate, no phosphate. Bio Pellets. And I'll tell for all your viewers, if you use the coupon code NOPO when you check out, you'll get 20% off.
Woohoo!
Through the end of the year. So if Jim is able to put this video up before the end of the year, you can have your discount.
I'll get to working real quick on it.
Cool.
And the reactors are available also?
Yeah, we'll be putting them officially out next week. This one's going to retail for about $225.
Uh-huh.
Somewhere in that price range, $225, $250. And we will also be including free bio pellets with the reactors through the end of the year.
Oh, wow. Well, then I better really get to work and getting the video out.
Yeah, the bio pellets aren't cheap. Figure that 8 ounces, I think it's around $20 or $25, somewhere in that range. But they do last quite a while, and again, replacing them is very easy. One important tip, I didn't want to forget to say this, is that it's very important to pre-soak the pellets before you add them to the reactor. Because they will float when you first put them in, and you can imagine if you put unsoaked pellets in, they're all going to be at the top.
It's like putting a piece of driftwood in your freshwater tank and it wants to float up to the surface.
So you need to waterlog them. Generally, 2 or 3 days in a little bit of water.
Freshwater or saltwater?
Saltwater is probably ideal.
Okay.
Just to get them soaked up in that, and then once you see them not floating anymore, then you can drop them into the reactor and off you go. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys the bio pellets we are offering on the packaging. This is the bottle here. This is a 12-ounce container. And basically, when you open them up, you can see on top what they look like, dry material. These are the instructions here. And this is about the amount of material you would use for this size reactor. You can see roughly, it's about the same size. And these are $34.95. And like I said, right now they're on sale for 20% off with the NOPO coupon, so you want to use that.
And you could order that from reefdynamics.com.
Exactly, yeah.
Great.
And they're also available at a number of different brick and mortar retail shops around the country. More and more of them are picking them up. The stores, it takes a little time for the information to get out to the stores, but we're sending out an email newsletter this next week with the pricing and information on the bio pellet reactors and the pellets with the coupon and everything. So, and if you haven't, check out our Facebook site, like us on there, because we offer coupons and discounts there too.
Cool. Well, great. Excellent. I'll look forward to hearing more about this as we get further into it.
And that's the current scoop on Bio Pellets. Make sure to come on back for future episodes as we move forward with new installations, new services, and explore new trends in aquarium keeping.